I'm a little late. I've been going through hell, physically and familially, but, and I don't usually do a stream that's half commentary, half gaming. Like, I usually just boot up my game and hit stream and then just play and talk a bit. But I got some stuff I want to talk about. I guess let's get the bad out of the way first. So, I want to show y'all what it's like living in a Canadian small town that only focuses on maintenance and censorship. And so, yeah, we'll take a look at this. So before we go into this, I thought this was a good post to note before we look. Someone pushing you to be better is not an attack. It is an act of love. So, this is a powerful distinction. Sometimes emotional security should be respected. Sometimes the order should be respected. Sometimes honesty is more valuable. That's just how it goes. So, number one. This is a while back I saw this. It was real. This was what, for the LCLC? Yeah, Lunenburg, you can see it under my caption. This is a real fucking thing. If I load up Gemini, source me to this image uploaded by Town of Bridgewater, I think. I believe. For this event at the local LCLC. So, yeah, I want to find this. I want to find where the original image was and get it up. Can you link me to where this original image resides? I don't think I'll be able to find it. Oh, but trust me, it's there. Somewhere. It was uploaded by South Shore Sexual Health. Problematic implicit and complicit values further reductive to physical security and identity. Inherently hypocritically discriminating against the general belief of binary gametes being the rule with reasonable exception, with no evidence of a third gamete. Like, no. It's called arithmophobia. We're not transphobic. We just, we respectfully decline to believe that ideology is dehumanizing. Okay. Okay, I'm not gonna overcomplicate it, but yeah. That pretty much seals the deal right there. I'm gonna find this, though. I am gonna find this post. It will be here. We'll get it. We're gonna individually go through these posts and deconstruct them. Okay. Keep going. Like, Jesus Christ. Do all they post is sex toys? Like, Jesus. Okay, that's cool. A cannon. An actual cannon. That's cool. How to adult. Yeah, it's the same source of education, by the way. Oh my god, I found it. Okay. We want to thank Good Dog Books and Venus Envy Halifax for donating some prizes for our sex toy and sip event that happened this Saturday, the 9th of August 2025. We are so grateful for all the love and support we have gotten from the community and will continue to promote sexual health and well-being for all, including children. So, yeah, this is the image. Sex toys and sip. Come for an evening of fun with South Shore Sexual Health. Location, Bridgewater LCLC. Have some non-alcoholic... So it's like, we're not going to allow alcoholic drinks because kids, but we're going to fucking shove sex toys in your eyeballs. And talk everything about sex. And transgenderism. A multi-purpose room, all right, yeah. This is a safe space. You might feel it's a safe space. And so I'm pretty sure Town of Bridgewater reposted this. Don't quote me on that one, though. So the problems are pretty glaring here. Generalized representation is not morally representable of morally representable individuals under society-derived moral criteria, such as age of consent, not being a closed-minded activist, etc., etc. And these people just don't get it. The people who support these movements, they don't understand that it's a one-sided movement. And so you try to get them to understand that it's hypocritically discriminatory and inherently discriminatory against people they feel are discriminatory that are not. But it just does not break through. The logistics do not break through. Yeah. Big problem here. This is not good. This is not good. And your tax dollars go towards this. Your tax dollars pay for transgender boob jobs. Ontario peoples, their tax money was used to pay for a double sex organ penis vagina surgery of someone based on feelings. That's what our money is being used for. That and send money to Ukraine for them to buy houses and cars. I can corroborate that pretty easily. What else? What else is taxpayer money being wasted on? I mean, you already know. It's just a general fact. Taxpayer money is being fucking wasted. And even the causes people think are genuine and humanitarian, they're not. A lot of them. And even if it is a genuine humanitarian crisis, would it exist if we were universally focusing on technological improvement and humanitarian aid? I don't think so. It's a result of corruption, collusion, intentional division, a lot of these genuine situations as well. That's not a bad post. Like, not all of it is terrible, right? But that's not the problem. That's not the point. The point isn't how much is bad. It's about position of authority. It's just fucking unreal. I wonder how many people went. Not a single like. Oh, I accidentally clicked off. Alright, we'll get out of there. I've made my point about this. Yeah, you can read that if you want to. Oh, and about this, yeah. The age of consent, 16. In 2008, Canada lifted the age of consent from 14 to 16. It was 14. That's right. The age of consent was 14 before 2008. Think about that. Here's another one. This has to do with immigration. Okay. Unfair systemic racism doesn't exist. There is truly unreconcilable culture and financial inequality. Intentional division is causing people to believe you can't be racist to white people. And that it's not a choice between keeping our country or region or town in a position that's actually good for them so that they can actually enact lasting support. We get down this path of, oh, it's not about whether we help themselves or help them, or it's not about this person versus that person, it's not about this thing versus that thing. Yeah, no. You have to be somebody for yourself, or you can't be anybody to anyone else. That's how that works. And that's why people need to put citizens first. This DEI bullshit is just socioeconomic cope. So now we end up with people walking around with fucking knives. Huge knives for cultural purpose. Fucking huge knife there. And in Britain, an 18-year-old just got stabbed after wrongly being handcuffed when he was the one that had a crime committed against him. And the authorities are trying to cover it up. I'm pretty sure Keir Starmer just declared war on all Britain, all native Britain, claiming if you hang national flags, they will punish you to the full extent of the law. I don't know about that last part. I do know about everything else. Native Britain is apparently the enemy because Muslim culture is definitely supportable, I guess, in first world countries. It's definitely lack of resource, lack of access, why third world nations are so full of crime and rape and murder and all kinds of stuff. If you Google the IQ, skin tone, rape, murder four-way map, you're going to see a lot of overlap. And you may feel immediately it's just correlative, because us in the West, we are more fortunate. We have things. Here's the deal, though. We do not control things. We do not control what should be or what is. The motto that money makes the world go around is bullshit. The world does not control money. Corruption, collusion, and intentional division is larger. Capitalism isn't cutting it anymore. Those suffering are suffering worse than anybody has before. The ones benefiting and claiming it to be reconcilable, they've never been better and more undeserving, you know. There are greedy and not greedy rich people. They can get medical treatment right away from whoever they choose. Sane countries, they make sure that the average moderate citizen can also achieve this to some extent. Products have a wait list. That's what I think. And so, where the fuck was I going with that? I'm gonna need to watch this back real quick so that I can keep myself on track, because this is massively interconnected. Here's the deal, though. We do not control things. We do not control this. Why? I don't know about that last part. I do. Native Britain. Tone, rape, murder, 4-way map. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, we aren't the most fortunate either, and immigration can be executed well, but here's what I think is going on. Those familiar with problematic culture, they're seen as less profitable, and they are, yeah, this would have been good to do off more sleep. Really, though. Let me think for a minute. Where I want to go with this, to talk about immigration. Like, it's not about the segregation of the family, it's about how we can make an environment for immigration to be good while still preserving our own citizens. That, like, there's a conflict here. That's not what they want to do. That's not what they want to do. They want to get rid of people who are less profitable and more aware than newcomers who will end up being exploited the same way we have. But they will still feel that it is massively better than their previous circumstance. And so nobody really fully wins and nothing changes. That's what I'm trying to say. Oh, here's a good one. All right, Hitler, right? Discriminately killed millions of Jews, right? What's worse? Direct discriminatory death or of millions versus indirect, also discriminatory, financially motivated death of way more people because of intentionally corrupt policy. Which is worse, a lifetime of suffering or death? Yeah, I went there. We can help people and we can make technological advancement. Here's something. Why have cancer treatments not evolved yet? Why have solar panels not evolved yet to be able to give people more control over their lives, more freedom? Why has AI been selectively funded so that it will be used as degenerate as possible and then condemned by the general public so that we will keep working for generations when the inherent goal of AI is definitely practical and moral? Nobody wants to pay a subscription for what is more tenuous to get the desired result or outcome than a Google search, a subscription for worse trial and error versus actual automation. I'm just going full in on this one because it made me think about how the whole world connects in terms of how people view humanitarian aid, how people view technological advancement, how people view corruption in general. It's very limited. You know, people, they will see something that blatantly screams politics is all bullshit. It's a performative stage. And even the implicit, complicit leaders, they're victims as well. They worry about money as well. Not all of them are greedy. They're part of the problem, but they're not the source. The source is the collective material reality, progressive material degeneracy, moral financial contradiction, inorganic cultural normalcy, the pushing of values and duties and sacrifice and acceptance and pretending that our parents never even fucking wanted in the first place. And automation before AI was even around. And so back to specifically into immigration. What else can I add? Let me get up for a minute. Oh. So yeah, this is what we're doing. We're going through these posts that I've made in relevance to my town, in relevance to the country, in relevance to the world. Then we're gonna talk about something more wholesome and nostalgic. Something I really want to talk about. A staple of old YouTube that never switched up. And then I'll probably just play some Forza. That's what it'd be. Damn, bro's making progress on a hard level. Geometry Dash is awesome. I love Geometry Dash. Alright. What else do I... Let's go through just some of my recent posts while I got this up. While on my phone. I got a good fucking picture that I posted. Oh, let's go. Let's go look at this. Let's go look at this. Okay. Yeah. Okay, this is funny. This is funny. Oh, this is a post I needed to make. Yeah. You can read this if you want to. It's some of the points I already made. Yeah. Crime is crime. Lack of skill is lack of skill. Yeah, I already said all of this. This is a funny image, though. Bro is actually making a difference. That's funny as fuck. So this is the image I was looking for. This is really good. So you got... I don't even know the places' names. I can't remember. Is this Mexico and India? I think so. Maybe. Could be wrong. Probably wrong. But yeah. This is what happens. This is pretty much what happens. And that's all that needs to be said about that, pretty much, I guess. Immigration. You can definitely do it in a good way. I'm not against it. I'm not anti-immigrant. I have immigrant friends that are actually intelligent and respectful, cleanly. Point is, we are paying for our own ethnic replacement. We are paying with our tax dollars for our own expunging. Our own erasure. So we can close that one. This one was really bad in my opinion. This was really bad. I might have to pull up TikTok and we're gonna go town of Bridgewater. That is not the right account, that's a friend. They don't even have an account, maybe. Maybe it wasn't on... here. Where was it then? Oh well, I don't need the video. I don't need the silly video. You can read this if you want. Yeah, this adds to a previous point. So, generalized representation not morally representative of morally representable individuals. And if you are morally representable, why do you need moral representation? How can you not represent yourself if you're morally representable? If you know you're morally representable, you're going to have no problem representing yourself. And people will be fine with that. There's the inherent inequality of it that's reverse engineered, and there's so there's the practical outcome and the belief, both are imbalanced. I still think the government doesn't care about your identity or inadequacy. They're just giving you what you want, validating you, so you're falling further into physical insecurity than most do, because it's average to not accept your physical body as you grow. People eat unhealthy and they get addicted to substances. This can quickly lead to alienation of your body, but instead of using lifestyle and mindset and substances, same line, and effort to become accepting of your body, people just sell themselves out. Disingenuous support that hinges on people wanting to avoid being controversial, ignorant of the damage of validation and affirmation. This is sickening to still see my town in the big like this in the big 2026. You just don't get it. If respect is agreeance, we don't live in a free country, and this entire movement is psyops to bridge disagreement to vilification and call it a free country for those who believe in this stuff. And anyone who disagrees, you get to decide what they are, because the law supports it. And giving $200 million to solely black organizations, Mark Miller, or unfairly giving a 12-month refugee income program to those who identify a certain way. Meanwhile, real, genuine, average, moderate, white, Canadian-born male citizens are having more financial incentive to use medically assisted induced death. And then look at immigration as well. People are getting in 5 months without sacrifice what people their whole lives here haven't gotten with sacrifice. It's wicked. It's not wrong to hate. If hate has no use, life is meaningless, because life is meaningless without conflict. Fuck your Trans Day of Visibility. This town is implicitly, hypocritically, inherently discriminatory against general viewpoints. Arithmophobia. There are 2 gametes. End of story. So this goes into more of this similar stuff, but there might be some new points. Let's. Is there anybody in chat? Probably not. Nobody watches me anyway. Yeah, nobody watches me. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why I was advocating. Like, we shouldn't be representing this movement positively. We shouldn't. But I'm playing devil's advocate. It's a machine of profit and loss. A politically correct hive mind. Not the will of the people anymore. Hasn't been for a long... I don't think it ever was. Not with capitalism. Everybody talking about stuff like the Iran war, which lasted an unbelievably short amount of time. Well, it's still going on right now. This was 2025. In 2026, it's still going on. And, you know, the Strait of Hormuz is going to open. Huge agreement just happened with Trump. But I imagine things are going to get explodey, like Asmongold said, as soon as it is open. World gotta run, but conflict and tension is still massive. Yeah, ignorance is like a positive mindset now, and I don't understand it. We're now pretending... They slowly took everything but survival out of life without you realizing, while these more arbitrary things are talked about. Economy just kind of does its thing behind the scenes, with everybody believing you need to put money above yourself because of necessity. We're now pretending everything that's necessary is also good. No, it's not. I hate to burst your bubble, Gen X, but with how things are looking right now, not just one statistic, but the entire economic climate of Canada, financial independence might become a necessity for one, but it will never be a good thing for my generation again. Not in all aspects of life. I have a video talking about this all on... I have a lot of videos talking about all this on my YouTube, where I fully explore these ideas. I don't like to get into big tangents, but I do anyway, because that's just how it goes. I try to be interconnected and concise, though. It's not delusional or a problem with your mindset or anything you need to change yourself. We all have bad familial history and physicality, and the economic reality is real. To believe that... Oh. I will get back to that. That's probably not going to be good. That looks like someone that was on the town hearing, and we're going to get to that. It's not delusional or a problem with your mindset or anything. You need to change yourself to believe that Canada is now unlivable. And that at this point, it's more the country's fault than your own. They really did take everything out of life except for survivability over time. And then people who are sellouts, people with cult fan bases who don't deserve it, Jake Paul, Billie Eilish, Sabrina Carpenter. There's plenty of good examples out there, male and female. These people, they're sellouts. Ideologically, biologically, all kinds of different ways. The only guiding force is culture and government, regardless of how bad and not what should be. Clearly for division. It's important to take care of yourself. I guess that's it for that one. So the same town that can afford a yearly Pride Parade to celebrate that can't get more staff when they decide to close down the woods and fine people who walk into the woods. This was proven to be unlawful, by the way. A Supreme Court ruled that this is unlawful, and the fines that people have gotten for going into the woods during this time, they will be undone. This was complete fucking bullshit. I'm not going to speak about the tick situation. I'm not going to speak about glyphosate, but, you know, you can make some reasonable, educated guesses there, you know? You can. I'm not going to say anything for certain. Could be wrong about... I'm not implying anything. I'm not giving those any weight in credibility. But I'm just opening the door to that conversation. Next one. Yeah, this kind of pissed me off. They're posting to Facebook about traffic lights being shut down as if that's a useful, productive spending of time. And they only get a couple likes, like maybe a handful of likes and comments. They're wasting energy and resource on this. Your tax dollars. So I comment. Reminder to everyone in this comment section that you can identify as a... Yeah, this is the same point I already made. But the new bit of information here is the contrast between what Canada offers on a federal level compared to... And how our town, our municipality enforces this. The federal policy. And then contrast that with this use of time and the amount of engagement that it gets. That's what I'm doing here. That's what's new about this one. It's not just repeat. Next one. Hey, let's do heavy construction on our most frequently visited and photographed park for several years, making it look like an absolute construction clusterfuck. Eyesore only to provide the utility of seasonal public washrooms. Amazing investment. Millions of dollars. Sorry guys, it's all we can do considering the majority of Canada wants us to give the infallible, one-sided, authoritarian, identity politic crazies and illegal criminals a handout that is greater than what the average citizen can earn. Sorry guys, we couldn't afford more. Although, look at our glowing fountain that's tens of thousands of dollars. Ooh. Oh wait, it's gone. And now the town is smelly and dirty and not safe at night. Bridgewater isn't safe. They're more focused on gender violence than actually improving our town. I'd go to public council if the speech wasn't compelled and topic controlled. Moving on. This is the first of the many town hearings that I've tuned into that literally nobody else comments on, with these people circling around federal issues, and even if there is legit, zoning issues or zoning concerns, and that's great. That I'm not going to argue with that. That's good. That needs to be recognized as a productive use of time. But you also have to realize they're not doing anything, like they're just being implicit and complicit with all this problematic ideology at the same time. It's not good. Not a good look. Because nobody puts them on the hook. Nobody does. Everybody's too busy. No, they expect people, it's like, the public can engage with these council meetings whenever they want. Here's a reason. Here, I'm going to read what I told my mother. A perfectly reasonable question. Who the fuck can afford to in time? Contrast that with the fact jobs are designed to limit you to one path, and more ghost jobs exist than ever. A lot of positions just exist to be work. A lot of positions are positions of perceived power, like all these sellouts and clowns sitting here. There are positions that do inherently contribute greatly to society. Surgeons, EMS, like all kinds of different stuff. There's tons of contribution to society, but there's equal as much problematic nature and disingenuous nature. You can read that if you want. I'm not going to. It's more the same that I've already talked about. Moving on. What is this about? Okay. Alright. Teen accused in Nova Scotia school attack plot. Teen accused in Nova Scotia school attack plot to remain in custody ahead of bail hearing. A 15-year-old Nova Scotian teen has been charged in connection with an alleged plot to carry out school attacks, will remain in custody for at least another month while awaiting a bail hearing. There's another 14-year-old involved. The original 15-year-old teen, identified as female initially, now uses he and him pronouns. That's definitely to garner sympathy. That's definitely to get out of it. That intent is clear. I want to get out of this punishment, so I'm going to use controversial topics. They were going to attack Bridgewater School and other schools. They arrested the teen. They found imitation weapons, pipe bomb replica, appeared in court, background report to be completed. The Crown opposes release, though that position could change depending on the plan presented by the defense. Prosecutors noted the investigation is ongoing. Additional evidence may emerge as police continue. To the people commenting purely because this post mentions the fact one of the individuals involved is gender divergent, trans, or queer in some way, please recognize that someone's gender identity does not matter when it comes to being in distress or being a danger to others. Anyone has the capacity for violence, and trans folk are at a much higher risk of being assaulted, abused, or taken advantage of than their cisgender peers. My mic is going fine, good. Just wanted to make sure. Not to mention the fact that stating their gender identity and biological sex was entirely unnecessary in the context of this event. To the folks preaching mental health supports for youth are lacking, you're right. But it's not quite for the reason so many are saying. Queer kids desperately need more support, safe spaces to communicate with their peers and see elder queer folks being present for more vulnerable members of our community. They need places to gather and socialize. commiserate about how terrifying it is to be a queer. In a small town full of small-minded people, we are actively losing our community's queer youth and to suicide due to loneliness our kids are experiencing. We've lost 4 this year alone. Be grateful they were found, caught, and are in the process of being given consequences. I don't believe it was necessary to out this literal child as trans on the internet. It's bigger than them. It's bigger than them. And about this implicit and complicit person, I'm getting to that. Here's my reply. I'll continue reading that in a second. I just needed to stretch. I'm not being too loud, right? I have to talk loud because of my esophagus. I can't let air in or out really much. Oh, I'm not feeling good. Shit. Okay. Let me read this, my response here. I don't feel good, give me a sec. Oh my shit. A majorly strictured esophagus and on and off aspiration. It's not fun. It's really not. Hopefully I can get better soon. ER visits have been tenuous and uneventful. Same with investing into outpatient support. 4 couple days, I can get my doctor on the phone and talk about how serious it is. Alright. Let's do this. If I can. If I have to get up again, I will. Alright, so these people feel the gender ideology is not at all relevant. I can see why most people would let that slide. But here's the thing, they're still contributing to intentional division. It absolutely does if you force ideology and identity politics on those referring to the shooter who disagree with how you refer to them. If agreement is respect, not everybody is entitled to their own opinion. You can't force someone to not go against their own beliefs and agree with what is subjective. I believe the identity of the shooter is the same if we're talking about sex and name as when they were born. if you support this identity politics nonsense, you're inherently political, and you're going to have people that disagree with you, and you must accept that if you're not one-sided. So, yeah, there was a video of a police officer referring to the shooter, how they wanted to be referred to after the shooting, when it's pretty evident that the shooter used identity politics and controversy as a way to shield themselves from accountability. So now the police are complicit and supportive of the shooter. That is the argument. What you don't, and it is respecting the shooter. You're respecting the shooter. Yep. You are respecting a potential school shooter as a police officer. That's fucking sad. What you don't understand is if you adhere to identity politics and refer to the shooter how they want to be referred to, because you're scared of controversy, you're not just actually inherently supporting the shooter, you are inherently respecting the shooter. Why the fuck are we respecting a shooter's wishes comprised from and founded on feelings alone? If it's hateful to believe there's two genders and openly disagree with that when there's a trending tragedy, because let's not pretend that none of this is systemic issues. When the ideology is supported, then do we really live in a free country? And I'm not arguing for there to be I'm not arguing for there to not be individual consequences either, because I feel that is still due, but I think it's also okay when authority... fuck, I'm tired. Okay, let's try that again. I am not arguing for there to be no individual consequences either, because I feel that is still due. But I think it's also okay when authorities inherently support and respect the shooter's identity and person by extent. Okay, I guess I should have said I don't feel it's okay to support and respect the shooter's identity and person by extension, because of their own ignorance or beliefs that you can control the response to when it's highly subjective and debatable. The topic of identity. Don't support or respect shooters. The government doesn't care about your... Yeah, same stuff. I'm not... Yep. Yep, more of the same. Alright. That's the initial post. Then there was an update. Youth to remain in custody. The teen appeared in Bridgewater Court. Defense requested a 1-month delay. The 14-year-old youth from Manitoba was conspiring to launch multiple attacks as well. They uncovered handwritten plans. Every day we respond to systemic failure with individual consequences. Not that they aren't due. That's a great point. And then this is the last post I commented on about this, relevant to this topic. If you plan an adult crime, should you be doing adult time? Should the PVEC shooter suspect be tried as a minor or an adult? Should be tried as an adult, but with several considerations and stipulations. I think this is at least 10% the blame of Canada as a whole for prioritizing perception and emotion over merit and reason. Everyone is struggling so hard. Supposed marginalized groups get... Yeah, more of the same. Points I've already made. Those with lower standards feel they're doing good for others by compromising our own interests. Safety, community. Death of community is real. Technology is cool and useful, though. We can't act like this isn't isolated to the town, or like the people running the town have more power than they actually do. They're limited by society that we are within. But when money and emotion become sole driving factors, things are not good, man. Things are not good. And I post lots of content trying to be interconnected and concise. Alright, moving on. only a couple left now. That's good. So, council meeting tonight. Meeting at the town hall. Yeah, I don't know what they were specifically talking. Probably something really specific. 1 like and 2 shares. It doesn't seem like the town cares much about getting involved with the preservation of itself or the expansion of itself. But hey, I doubt anybody has the freedom or ability really with cost of living. And look at all the places the government and education asserts itself in place of a parent. And vice versa, parents expect systems to fill their boots. Like everything, all intent, yeah. People are ideologically captured. Chronic justification. So yeah, it's kind of a catch-22. They talk about getting the public to come join these events. It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. Okay, a couple days ago, they posted about a water main being down. Yeah. Something like that. Water service notice. And they weren't allowing comments. They turned off comments. They limited them. Guess who is the only person who consistently comments on these posts? And if that's wrong, I don't think anybody consistently comments on the town page more than I do. People feel that it will be a waste of time or it will be perceived as wrong or bad. We see all the wrong good things as bad. Whenever the relevant topic is somebody's lived experience, consumerist choice, any kind of choice, as soon as you say something bad about anything in society, you're either going to be seen as wrong or bad. McDonald's, even if you tried to change it, not get rid of it, people are going to come out of the woodwork to defend it. Makes the Big Arch video look so much more shitty when you realize McDonald's fries, because the oil that they're fried in, the way that they're fried, the way that it's heated up, it causes a chemical transformation, and then those fries, a 3-year-old can walk in with their family, sit down, and eat the inflammatory equivalents of 30 cigarettes. I'm not saying it's doing the same damage as 30 cigarettes exactly. I'm saying it has certain compounds like unsaturated, saturated, what is it? What is it? Saturated, unsaturated, alpha, beta, no, what was it the fuck? Unsaturated aldehydes or something. What is it? Yeah. Alpha, beta, unsaturated aldehydes. This is really bad. And another one for H&E. When the fats in the oils used break down from heat, it turns into these. And it's extremely inflammatory. Extremely. And then I want to throw another thing in here about society. Think of how much they get you to sit in the run of a day. Build up lactic acid for free. We are programmed, my dudes. I mean, you sit when you eat breakfast. You sit to go to work. You sit at work. You sit after work to eat again. You sit to relax even more. Like, people are just being programmed into sedentary lifestyle. Another thing about McDonald's, Um, the food has been shown to dysregulate up to 100 genes in the hypothalamus, I think it is. But the point is, anything you talk down on, people are going to come out of the woodwork to defend. Whether it's problematic consumerism or not. People are too obsessed with consumption method and not enough with chemicals. I don't mean that in a bad way, I mean chemistry. Chemistry. And physics and science, all general science. Where was that coming back to in terms of municipality? So yeah, people feel that it's a waste of time for you to invest into engage with anything controversial, pretty much. Yeah. So this is a recent one. Town of Bridgewater is looking for committee members. The town of Bridgewater is currently seeking enthusiastic, interested residents to serve on a few of the town's volunteer committees. These committees provide a vital service to council by providing advice and or recommendations on important community issues which help to shape the town. The town is committed to diversity and inclusion and encourage all interested residents to apply. We are currently recruiting members for the following committees: Arts, Culture, and Museums Advisory Committee, policies, programs, strategic planning related to arts, culture, museums, mandates, storytelling, sponsorships, equity and inclusion efforts, decolonization, that's a big one, we're going to talk about that, because up here, and cultural programming. Wait, I didn't even see that one earlier. That's a new one. Cultural programming. That doesn't raise any red alarms at all. Yep. Okay. And that's clearly sarcasm. That is fucked. Cultural programming. Bitch, what the fuck? Why are we culturally programming? What? So this can be viewed in two lights, and no in between. It's either you think like organizations, groups, support, you implicitly, complicitly, inherently, whatever, you think of it as genuine support when it's not. Or you see it as what it really is. Controlling the masses. This is a legit one, transportation, but it's only one thing. It's not relevant to the entire town outside of transportation. I mean, it's a big thing, yeah. It's a good thing, yeah. Parks, recreation, and active transportation. That's not a bad department, I wouldn't say. It's probably less efficient with the current federal government and municipal leadership, but a good program to have, honestly. I can't argue with that. Heritage Advisory Committee. The committee advises council on issues related to the designation of buildings, streetscapes, and areas within town as heritage properties. The committee also advises on applications to substantially alter or demolish a heritage property. I wonder if that's make everything foreign or just general decide our own heritage. I don't know. I'm not going to speak on that. I'm not going to open that can of worms right now or say that it's bad or good. But heritage is important, yes. So here's what I said to this. Yes, decolonization is increasingly shit, I don't feel good. Yes, decolonization is increasingly utilized by populist figures for socioeconomic coping. Both as a genuine framework for marginalized groups and as a co-opted political tool by right-wing leaders to manage anxiety over downward economic mobility. I mean, decolonization can be wrongly used by everybody, and I don't think it's good. These committees provide a vital service by providing advice and or recommendations. The town is committed to diversity and inclusion, and I put in parentheses, at the expense of order and reconcilable culture and safety, efficiency. In other words, even if we can't handle more people, we will take more people, and even if culture is truly unreconcilable, we don't care. Even if this person is not proficient, we will still hire them. Even if this person is a deplorable criminal who should be punished to the fullest extent of the law, if not morality itself, we're just gonna see the human in them that we want to see, because we need to humanize everybody. Let me be clear that decolonization is just polarizing and practically ambiguous. So in other words, yeah, what I already said. It's emotional-based thinking. I don't see how it's serving much importance. I wouldn't want to limit myself to these talking points in a position of perceived power where any criticism of practical ambiguity or unreconcilability, if we can't prioritize our own citizens to then enact lasting support to help people, yeah, is not good. Boot filling for the transportation department and DEI at its finest. Municipal leaders deserve grace for what they're practically limited to, but they're not evidently doing anything to combat problematic federal policy. They're just trying to make themselves feel good about their positions. Pretty much, unfortunately. I don't know why there's nothing in place to keep these people on the hook. Like, we get it. You can't do much about big issues, but at the same time, what is in your control, you're completely going tits up. This, pretty much. Okay, that brings me to tonight. What is that ad, bro?
A project the committee has provided advice on. One of the visited the.
I'm not gonna watch all 20 minutes, but basically, this woman talks about accessibility in general and for disabled peoples, about zoning for.
To give it feedback was supportive of more accessible park. It was a beautiful day when that was opened up. They're great washrooms. This is an example of a project the committee has provided advice on. One of the committee members, Total and Civic Square in the town of Lunenburg. We had a lot to say about initial designs of these projects, and we believe that feedback was supportive of more accessible designs.
I thought she was generally cooking.
On the opposite side of the parking lot, and though that takes a second, there's often concern about the actual perceived cost of making things accessible. We know that there can be increased cost compared with designs that do not consider accessibility. We also know that this is not always the case, and that intentional planning that considers accessibility often does note while accessibility benefits people with disabilities, accessibility benefits everybody. An example would be cut curbs. Of course, if you're a wheelchair user, it makes it easier to get into a crosswalk, but that same accessibility feature also, accessibility isn't just a benefit for people with disabilities, but it's a benefit for community in general. It isn't just pushing strollers or people towing luggage. And so accessibility, most understand the barriers, those with disabilities and those. So unless we are intentionally, that will work for them, which is why one of the main slogans is nothing about us without us. Another set of challenges related to process are some challenges we've identified include councils knowing that they can ask us for advice. So we are we're here, like saying we're here. We want you to know we're here. We want you to come to us for advice. We want you to come consult with us. We don't hear from council.
I had no notes so far. I thought she was generally cooking, but just wait. Just wait.
Councils as often as we would like, and we would very much like to provide our advice for you all.
I thought I'd pipe in with a point about advice, about it going both ways. Between an authoritative position and someone not in an authoritative position.
Under expectations, we mean that we don't always
Just
have a
watch.
great understanding of what you as councillors and municipalities hope to get from us as the committee. We have a lot of collective knowledge and experience, and we want to know what expectations you have for us as well.
What I'm trying to say here is they shouldn't just want us to want advice from them. They should want advice from us directly about their shortcomings, mistakes, whatever. Them being over whatever. If they need input, whatever.
And then communication. How would you like to hear from us? Would you welcome unsolicited advice? Should we...
Speak of the devil, I'm literally typing it right now. Well, not right now, but I was at the time.
Only respond when you ask us for our feedback. We volunteer our time and expertise and hope that we can support you to make our communities more accessible.
Money does not make one an adult. We judge too much solely within materialism, shifting blame and topic all at the wrong times.
These foundational and more process-oriented challenges make it difficult but not impossible to help make change happen. We want to work with you to decrease the impact of these challenges. And that is, sorry.
And then I went off to Google something. Yeah, I was Googling the word opportune because I wanted to make sure it meant what I was using it for.
There we go. So, a reminder, people with disabilities make up over 37% of the population here in Nova Scotia. And are not proportionately represented amongst decision makers. Our committee can bring these perspectives, including the expertise that comes from personal experience and close connection with...
I thought she was on a roll, ideologically in a practical way.
Disability and accessibility, and as we said, it's perspectives you don't necessarily already have at your table.
Advice is received and provided. Money doesn't make one adult. Authority goes both ways, morally speaking. Objectivity is what matters. End of the day, no matter how we get there to make things more accessible for our most opportune and our most vulnerable.
Tables. We use several lenses when we considering advice. We use an accessibility...
And you can see here I'm being very genuinely supportive.
...lens that considers how the results of a decision will impact the experience of people with varying disabilities. We use a lens of intersectionality to consider how other identities such as race, sexual orientation, gender identity, socioeconomic status, and other identities a person may identify with could intersect and impact the experience of the person living with a disability in respect to our decisions. And we use a human rights lens. It's foundational. Accessibility is a human rights, and it means that we recognize that people with disabilities
Here's where I knew it was going off the rails.
are entitled to the same rights as other people. We consider whether the outcome of the decisions that we make respect those rights. Next steps, really just ask for our advice. Remember that we're here and that we're eager to do the work and we want to make an impact.
This might be unsolicited, but it's 100% accurate and it's 100% relevant.
In our communities that we live in and we care so deeply about. And tell us your thoughts, how we can work better together, how you think the Accessibility Advisory Committee can.
I'm kind of glad I got the bad stuff out of the way first. I'm excited to talk about the Rich Alvarez channel after this, just because it's just so OG, man, and I forgot about it for the longest time. I'm tired though. I don't know if I'll be able to play much Forza. Might have to wait until tomorrow. Oh, I muted it. What, I muted it? Oh, I just paused it. Okay.
And tell us your thoughts, how we can work better together, how you think the Accessibility Advisory Committee can those rights. Next steps, really just ask for our advice. Remember that we're here and that we're eager to do the work and we want to make an impact in our communities that we live in and we care so deeply about. And tell us your thoughts, how we can work better together, how you think the Accessibility Advisory Committee can.
Oh, I was just adding on to the racism thing, oh,
support.
You can't be racist to white people, you colonizing sapien, I don't even know. Oh my god. I have, some people.
Bridgewater, and
yeah, so
create that really inclusive community where everybody has an opportunity
same point I've made before.
to feel like they belong. That is it. Oh yeah.
Well, thank you. Does anyone have any questions or comments?
I had a comment. It got immediately removed.
Dr. Paula?
Oh, because if you don't support something, you're inherently dehumanizing.
I guess a question for the CAO. So there was you've identified some challenges with the process around communication and awareness, things like that. So
If you don't support people's personal existential feelings, you're inherently dehumanizing. I'm trying to think of a way to minimize the importance of gender ideology in the grand scheme of things. But I guess even just stating that goal kind of proves that point. That just kind of proves my point. It's not this huge thing, it's a personal decision. And so, there's disrespect every day in the world. It's not a crime. It's not a crime to be disrespectful. And it can't be disrespectful if it's completely accurate. Well, okay. That's not true. But, here's a good way of putting it. It can't be disrespectful and personal at the same time. Everybody has personal beliefs. So, if it's just instantly disrespectful because you have your own beliefs about, sex, there being two gametes, well, then it just instantly proves the point that it's a one-sided, inherently hypocritically discriminatory movement, all of it. And yet, all of these municipal leaders here probably believe in it. They're middle-aged people who are so tied down in life that they don't know what they're talking about when it comes to this stuff.
Is there something we're going to do to ensure we clarify that going forward?
Well, I think
And that wasn't unsolicited, kind of irrelevant to some extent, but also very relevant. You bring up socioeconomics, you bring up support for, I may have skipped over it, but she did bring up support for gender, race, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that it immediately becomes relevant. It's not irrelevant.
that,
It's unsolicited, but it's not irrelevant.
certainly Ellen is kind of our conduit to the committee, and
I went all over the place with that one. I'm tired.
I know that when staff are working on projects, and I think it's just a reminder for staff when working on projects, whether they be communication pieces or policy or checking, could brought out to a council or on council cannot committee.
And they just kind of started
And I'm going to fumble this a lot, so ready to hear.
talking
Yeah.
about
I like each point.
Requirements are met, and then we can just go right into the agenda and have the
Okay.
planner do the overview.
Okay.
huge waste of time in my, like, what is going on here?
So and the first step will be an overview by the applicant, which is the town. Am I
Yeah.
still on the right track?
Yes, that's right. We are the applicant in this
Politics at its finest.
case.
Right.
And I think, sorry, receive
As rotten as Hollywood.
questions from council tonight.
Okay. That was the agenda review I was supposed to do, right?
There you go.
So what she said, Mr. Brown, if you wouldn't mind, please.
Yeah, good evening, Deputy Mayor and Council. This evening, Council will be considering concurrent amendments to the municipal planning.
This guy started cooking about parks and about park zoning and distance to get to a park, and it made me think about how great the parks around my small town are. It's a great fucking place for parks, and there's not too many people, right? It's a small town. The parks are really, really, really nice. So I see dude talking about zoning and parks.
Strategy.
I'm like, okay, y'all deserve grace due to practical constraint. Yeah, I made this point before. And I'm gonna make it again. These municipal leaders, they do deserve grace, respect, understanding, appreciation, every good thing, but that any other human deserves. But you also need to hold them on the hook for evidently not handling what is in their control the best they could with certain stuff. Mostly ideology, not practical stuff.
Consideration was held at the regular council meeting
Intentional
on
division.
August 27th, 2026. Straight file 800-meter distance with their fire and within is a matter of yields used distance people with 30% cost land product and to administer quality of
So yeah, I just said one of the best things about this town is its parks and trails.
the town's open spaces. Sharks
Then I went to
quality
I went to Google something related to how I'm feeling, like my my physical situation.
of the town. Since the debt attributed based on the debt improvement plan and other capital budget initiatives. With that,
On a roll.
staff recommend the council
Comments from the public. There were no written submission to close the public hearing. Come back into regular session enacted. Is that correct?
We'll put a notice of
Terminology?
approval.
Then they waste more time with due process that is only pertaining to due process.
And the paper,
Okay.
yeah,
So, okay. Questions? Have I missed?
if you have it. Get it.
And this is how it usually goes. Like, dude, most of the hearings and meetings and councils that I've joined, half of it is due process only pertaining and relevant to due process. Like a complete fucking waste of time. But they don't exactly like, you can make it. Like, maybe they could clean it up a little bit, but still, it's the system. It's not really their fault.
Outside.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not new information being received, so.
Right, okay.
You're just asking for clarification, yeah.
Okay, so we're back in regular council meeting. If
Move to
Yeah,
26.
laugh it up while you're sellouts and getting more than your citizens are, while you pat yourselves on the back for the issues you can't control and the issues that you do control in a bad way. This is why I say they censor and maintain only. They do a good job with. They do a pretty decent job with practical upkeep of the town. They are highly lacking in the ideological department. People are too implicit and complicit with division, and things they think to be innocent, acceptable, helpful. When it's not, it's doing the opposite. It's causing more problems.
-021A, dated May
These distinctions are very important to make when talking about these people.
25th, 2026, for concurrent amendments with respect to subdivision and
other regarding
So they weren't addressing anything that I was saying, so I was like, damn, did they like remove my comment? And I'm like a top fan, right? I'm a top fan of the page. That's why this little diamond is here.
health hazards of radon. Do any
Then they started talking about radon. That's acceptable. It's a real concern. It's a good thing to talk about, short. But then I clicked
8.1.
the diamond,
26-076 policy 8.
and it said page not found, badge details. And I was like, did I get my comments removed? Keep in mind, I was only conflicting when it came to the socioeconomics topic and support for gender, race, blah, 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 blah. And about money in general and material authority. The rest, I was absolutely, genuinely supportive, respectful, attentive to topics that other people aren't going to care about. Parks, like stuff like that. And to respond to that the way I have here, and then to be punitively punished, it's selective and censoring and self-validating, and I'd say it is oppressive. It is oppressive.
81, flag flying request for flag raising of the Philippines national flag on June 12th, 2026. And because it is a new request, it has to come.
Imagine getting told,
81.
So, yeah, I
8.1 request.
I'll talk about this in a minute. I'll talk about this after this. I won't interrupt this. So,
For flag raising of the Philippines
I
national
reloaded the
flag on-
page.
Okay.
Oh damn, comment removed by moderator.
Any questions?
All of a project designs or additional advice before it was completed. We have given advice on designs for Saw Pit Wharf and Modal and Civic Square in the town of Lunenburg. We had a lot to say about initial designs of these projects, and we believe that feedback was supportive of more accessible designs. Obviously, there's plenty of challenges in the work. We've highlighted 3 foundational ones that make accessibility work challenging everywhere, not just here in Lunenburg County. First, there's just gaps in knowledge around accessibility. People don't always know when we need to think about and what to think about problems when we find them. I have a great example from a colleague of mine who is a person living using a wheelchair, is a wheelchair user, and he was visiting a McDonald's, and they have an accessible entrance with a ramp, and they have an accessible parking spot on the opposite side of the parking lot, and though that ticks the boxes of accessibility, the actual usability of that doesn't work for a person using a wheelchair in February when there's snow on the ground. Second, there's often concern about the actual perceived cost of making things accessible. We know that there can be increased cost compared with designs that do not consider accessibility. We also know that this is not always the case, and that intentional planning that considers accessibility often does not result in increased cost. We also know that when we don't include accessibility in our designs, we knowingly exclude members of our community. I'd also like to just note that while accessibility benefits people with disabilities, accessibility benefits everybody. An example would be cut curbs. Of course, if you're a wheelchair user, it makes it easier to get into a crosswalk, but that same accessibility feature also benefits parents pushing strollers or people towing luggage. And so accessibility isn't just a benefit for people with disabilities, but it's a benefit for community in general. And then finally, a key challenge with accessibility work is that the people who most understand the barriers, those with disabilities and those who have close relationships with them, are often not represented amongst decision makers. So unless we are intentionally pulling these folks into the process, we don't have all of the information we need to make good decisions that will work for them, which is why one of the main slogans is "Nothing about us without us."
Oh, I'm rewatching the whole thing by accident.
Before.
I thought that was at the end and it would give
Yeah.
something
Need
new.
to add?
No,
I
just
thought I
the
went back.
fires.
and,
6-076,
something
policy 81, flag flying request for flag on June 12th, 2026. 6-076, policy 81, flag.
I'm gonna go back to their. Okay, I'll look at that. It's not all bad. I wanted to show some good things about the town at the end. No, not town of Lunenburg, town of Bridgewater. There we go. Yeah, I stalk people's profiles. Hang me for it. Oh, all my comments are still there. That's crazy. I mean, yeah, this is all valid. I'm talking big shit, but like, this is all valid. You delete my comments, you get fucked. Especially with no reason, like.
Have all of the
Because this is an MPS or policy, has an MPS or
provided the financing, rather, by, through our own process, and that was generally by, through our debentures that we would get from.
I mean, yeah, this is pretty frustrating. This is pretty frustrating. I did have, let's see if I can get it here. Someone else commented and they agreed with me. And I thought I could find that on here, but I might have to find it on my phone. Yeah. Wendy Bao says, get it up here. Focus, focus, focus. Hocus pocus focus. Please. I'm gonna get out of frame here. And that way it'll focus on the camera. On the phone. So this is illuminating. Oh, come on now. Hello. Focus right there. This is illuminating. The council makes a hearing to itself. None of the public is in attendance, so there are no comments or concerns presented, and the hearing is closed with no means to appeal. I did not hit see more, but I don't need to. Meetings of council are open to the public. Anyone can attend if they wish. Which speaks to my earlier point about people's general limitation of freedom and ability. How the fuck are you gonna expect that? Now, like right now. That doesn't make any sense. And so yeah, I closed out with "Have a nice day, you sellouts," because I didn't get addressed. I got censored, and I'm right about them and the country. So yeah, that's about it, I guess. I mean every word I said. I don't dehumanize anybody unless they are deserving of it. Crime is crime. I definitely think municipal leaders need a lot of respect and understanding and leniency, but they need to be on the hook as well. They do. That's just how it is. I am out. Of that topic anyway, end that recording. Start a new one so that we can talk about this other topic. Get me the fuck out of here. Oh wait. Yeah, they announced big stuff like they're gonna almost $1 million to replace and improve sanitary sewers, enabling future growth, dealing with wastewater. That's all good. There's plenty of good posts here that are practical, and that ties into another point I made earlier. Practically, they're pretty fucking decent at their jobs. They're pretty decent. Ideologically, in a lot of the ideological political stuff, no. Just no. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, let's go talk about this other thing. So, Rich Alvarez, 18 years ago they came out with a parody series called
Stupid Mario Brothers! It's time to get to the mail, Luigi. I hope we don't
18
get
years
the
ago,
same old
man.
crap we get every day. Yeah, that would suck.
That's so good.
Oh, piece of the crap! Another stupid letter from Bowser. What does he want this time? Can you believe that?
This shit is so funny, man. So it's basically like a parody of like the original Mario story, but they got their friends together and acted out like a real world version of it with like real world problems. And that's what makes it so memorable, really. It's really funny. They did a really good job. They have all kinds of different series related and music videos and all kinds of stuff. It's really something special to me. I'll be definitely checking out more of their content that I never saw before. Definitely. I think. This isn't just nostalgia bait either. They never switched up. If you look at their channel, I mean, this has almost 3 million views 18 years ago. If we look at their channel now, look at the amount of views that they do now. But they still post. Maybe not as much as they used to, but they still do post. They never switched up. This is a staple of old YouTube. And so this goes beyond nostalgia. This is authenticity. And it means a lot to old and new fans. It does. Now, they popped up in my feed at Fanime. I don't like too many anime. There's a couple anime I like. I'm not a big anime person. There's a couple really good shows that I like. Really, but I'm not a yeah. And they were just walking around talking to people in different cosplays. And it was actually quite enjoying to watch. Some of them were pretty creative, and the people they were talking to, it was just enjoyable to watch. It seemed pretty nice.
Oh yeah, I just came from the gathering.
And oiled up and always taken care of.
So yeah, I joined around here. This was the moment that I joined.
Awesome. We feel again. Shout out.
Rest of the game.
Oh, it's one of your hairs.
I'm sorry it's come to this.
Oh. Sneaking Femble.
What the heck?
And then
I think he has his own fam now. Like, that's crazy. But wish him luck.
they left.
Can I see this?
Question very much.
You have never.
So I commented, been a fan since the beginning. Yeah, he'll read it out.
Personalities. What's up with the rest of the game? Question mark.
He gotcha.
And that's why he said
So you got a
sorry.
comment, been a fan since the beginning of Stupid Mario Bros. Just want to say you're one of the centerpieces of my childhood nostalgia. Will always be subbed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
You have memorable personalities. What's up with the rest of the game? Question mark.
They're just doing their thing,
Living life, yeah. Most of them live far away.
I kind of regret how I phrased this after, because it really is just nostalgia bait. But at the same time, like, that authenticity, it's really important. The page ain't reloading. There we go.
Mario Bros. Just want to say you're one of the centerpieces of my childhood.
They're just
Bro, can the page load?
extra high effort, and then we'll just pull them in.
Do you see where my sanitizer is?
What is going on?
They're just doing their thing, living
life, yeah. Most of them live far away.
Okay. I'm looking around. Do we want to?
Why is the panel gray? Give me the panel back.
Nostalgia will always be subbed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
You have memorable personalities. What's up with the rest of the game? Question mark.
They're just doing their thing, living
life, yeah. Most of them live far away.
And then a couple minutes later.
You never know when you need it. And it's just whatever. Sit. Yeah. None of you wanted to be like Sid Highwind, like Final Fantasy VII Sid?
I have already cosplayed as Sid Highwind many a time.
This week.
Why is YouTube breaking on me right now? YouTube is really fucking me up here. Like, the chat is gone. Where'd it go? I don't even know, dude.
Again? Not this weekend, but I've been doing him for probably about 8 years.
Okay, okay. I knew that because three of them.
Lurid.
Next time.
Much about Freeran or Himmel the Hero.
Sonic.
Anything else, Anthony, in the comments or anything?
Will you guys go to the masquerade?
No.
Oh, there we go.
Like to just wander
Yeah, I made a donation. What are the best things you've been able to engage with at this event? Any big plans for the remainder? Ever dress up as the darkness for Halloween?
around.
No, that's the regular. I think the.
If you get that reference, you're a fucking legend, an OG.
Yeah.
You've been able to engage with at this event.
What are the
Big plans for the remainder?
Well-
Dress up as the darkness for Halloween.
Was that who was that?
This is X Vince 2002. What are the best things you've been able to engage with at this event? Any big plans for the remainder? Ever dress up as the darkness for Halloween? $5.
It makes me so happy, man. They genuinely enjoyed that, and that really makes me happy.
All right. Thank you very
you
much
so
for
much.
the super chat.
Have I ever dressed as the darkness for Halloween?
You did in 2014 when we went bar hopping in the greater Sacramento area.
Okay,
Yeah.
in 2014 I did, I guess.
And then the other stuff, in terms of our plans, we're just wandering, having fun. I forget what the other questions were.
What are we looking forward to? What are we gonna do? I mean, there's only today left, really.
Honestly, we just wander. We did have inside the hotel room karaoke last night. That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. A little bit of nuance about the trip. That it, like, yeah. That's what I was trying to spark out. I didn't want it to just be nostalgia bait. But at the same time, it would be very simple fun to walk around just chatting to different people at the event. Yeah, really though. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? I've never been to one of these events, anything like that. I would love to, though.
We might do that again. I mean, I'm just looking forward to, honestly, I'm looking forward to just sitting back, having a beer, relaxing.
Yeah.
I do need to find a couple of things, you know, because I never buy anything at these cons, but now it's like everybody I know, their birthday or something is coming up, and now I owe them things, I guess. I'm also just personally looking for a Mudkip, so keep your eyes peeled, chat, because I used to have a cool little Mudkip plushie. Somewhere over the years I lost it, so I'm looking
I hope you find it. I hope you can find it.
for a new one. But Mudkip, you know, everybody has to acknowledge that Mudkip is the world's
Maybe I'll gift you one someday.
greatest
But it probably has a replacement by now.
Pokemon.
It's yeah, sure. The world's greatest Pokemon for Rich.
All right, well let's go this way.
All right. The artist alley's probably going to be a little crammed.
I would like to attempt because I feel like it would be less crowded than the regular merch hall, but we just haven't done any.
You guys really turned around a horrible day and put a smile on my face. A good laugh, really needed it. If I find anyone else there that observes a Mudkip, I won't hide that intel.
Hall.
You guys just really turned around a horrible day and put a smile on my face. A good laugh. Really needed it. If I find anyone else there that observes a Mudkip, I won't hide that intel.
Thank you.
That was very nice. Thank
And
you.
I'm so glad that we could brighten your day.
Fall Guys again.
Probably not, but it was fun while it lasted.
Such great guys, like, man. This is a legit good question. I would watch this. I would watch this.
All right, good merch. Heck yeah.
So we're in Artist Alley. Yeah. Hopefully the stream stays good. I know sometimes when we get into certain corners of the building, things get weird.
There's another front pack. It looks like he's wearing a Mario shirt too. It's here working on their art.
And then later in the stream, like I had remembered I dressed up as Zombie Mario one Halloween, specifically because of this old series that they did. Yeah, I dressed up as Zombie Mario for one Halloween. It was so silly.
Hey.
Oh, look at that. Did you see that? I've been.
But yeah, I wanted to make a video about this. Please check out more of their content. I'm definitely going to. There's a lot that I never really checked out, but I should have. And I will. Definitely. 18 years. 18 years and never switched up. Never. Not even for a little bit. That's special. It is. Do I have time for Forza? I don't really think so. I'm really tired. I'm gonna get off. I'm out.